Good afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Mike Haddad here in the Stormwatch 9 Weather Center. An update on the flash flood concerns in many parts of central New Hampshire right now, even now stretching into the southern part of the White Mountains. The flash flood warning that we are tracking, well, here it is until 4:45 in and around places now north of Warner. The greatest concerns farther north in and around San Bernardino, Tilton, points north to Bristol, over to Laconia and the Weirs. There's another warning issued just recently in and around the area over the lake itself, the big lake, in and around Moultonborough, in Tuftonboro, up to just east of Sandwich and all the way to just west of Conway. And here's the reason why. A lot of tropical rain. If you've been out and about and caught in one of these downpours, the visibility has been cut down so much so that even traffic on the major highways, including 93 for a time, down to 25 or 30 miles per hour. So this rain is falling at such a heavy clip. And here's a look at Doppler radar estimates coming in and around parts of the Lakes region. So Northfield and Tilton, Franklin, San Bernardino. Look at these Doppler radar estimates coming in at about 4 to 4.5 plus inches of rain. That's just way too much water over a short period of time for some major flooding of roads, small streams, creeks, small rivers rising rapidly. And basically a flash flood warning means that either flooding is occurring right now, as is the case in some of the warning area, or will be occurring quickly. So you really want to limit travel in these areas, including Moultonborough through Tuftonboro along Route 171, 109. Here's another Doppler radar estimate coming in just to the south of Moultonborough at 4.3 inches of rain. To kind of put it in perspective, that amount of rain is what we typically average in about 35 to 40 days. And we've seen that all in a matter of 1 or 2 hours. Tropical downpours, no warning just yet, but major road ponding in and around the Queen City up through Hooksett and towards Loudon, and then point south all the way down to Derry and Windham and just north of Salem. So there's a lot of tropical rain in many parts of the state, with a lot more right in the warning area in and around Tamworth and points north just to the east of Sandwich, moving to the east and northeast at generally 20-25 miles per hour, but not quick enough to prevent the flooding situation. And then moderate rain lining up behind the heavy batch from Thornton down to Plymouth and in Bristol. And as we widen out a little bit more, you're going to notice another cluster of storms entering the upper valley. So we're not done with the rain and flood threat just yet. Even after the flash flood warnings expire, we may see them extended or moved into different parts of the state. So really allow a lot of extra time if you're traveling between now and the mid part of the evening. Eventually, after 8 or 9 o'clock tonight, a lot of the wet weather will finally begin to move out. Here's an alert again for flash flood warnings. If you are in that area or you get a flash flood warning in the next few hours, that means one of two things. Either sudden and violent flooding is occurring now, or it's imminent. In this case, of course, just generated by this tropical, torrential heavy rain. And you want to move to higher ground, but best advice, if you are in a safe spot, do not head out while this heavy rain is falling. There's just so much ponding on the roads, some road flooding in some areas. And as you're traveling, if you have to venture out, just slow it down and don't cross a flooded roadway. We will be back at the bottom of the hour with another update. Until then, you can get a lot more information on our website or on our mobile app.